Me Versus Me by NLE Choppa. It is a mixtape or an album or an EP. I don't know. It's 16 songs, 53 minutes too long. And I don't know with NLE Choppa. He releases a lot of things. Some of these things I kind of like from time to time, but he is in this genre of rapper similar to Youngboy NBA, who is, you know, has their one kind of like yelly thing that they do constantly, but ultimately is lacking a lot of stuff that separates them from like any given trap artist, right? Like you get your regular lyrics about rapping and gunplay and like hoes and all this other stuff, but like I don't see a lot of difference. I don't see a lot of growth or like really anything from what NLE Choppa is doing. It's just like basic ignorant shit, honestly.
Yep. It's okay. It's just drowned out. There's a lot, like, you have some features on here that are okay. Push It with Young Thug, because now everybody's pushing P or some shit, or pushing something, apparently. Whatever that means. Gunna doesn't even know what it means. But it's okay. It's just, we've heard this album 1,000 times, is the thing. Like, it's nothing special. I mean, when we reviewed From Dark to Light, I actually liked that record. I thought it was decent. I thought it was a step in the right direction that way. But after that, now with this, it says an EP, but it's definitely way too long for an EP, and it's way too long for an LP anyways. Make your shit shorter, please, God. It's just not that great. It's like, I've heard this album 1,000 times. Yeah, it's just not that good, I don't think. Like, you have a couple of features that are alright. You have Young Thug, Polo G. You have Moneybagg Yo, G Herbo. They're okay. They do their work. But the production of it's just a trap sound that we've heard for a decade now at this point, where, you know, 5 years ago, sure, this record would have been okay. 4 years ago, even, sure, this record would have been okay. But now it's like trap has evolved in a way to where there's a lot more experimentation in it. You have good records. My prime example always is going to be Metro Boomin and 21. Their collaboration efforts, and even just their singles and their way their production is, and the way like 21, even his features are, they're always good. They're always fun. They'll always go hard. Like, they're very convincing in that way. But with this, it's drowned out. The production isn't anything great. So it's very disappointing.
Yeah, it's to your point that you made earlier about this being like the Gunna record, where like Gunna had a Young Thug feature. It's like every trap record is so cookie cutter that, oh no, the second song or third song is going to be your Young Thug track, and then you're going to have a couple features here, and then you'll do your like onslaught of supposed hood bangers that are really just not at all inspiring. Somewhere in there, you do your little Drake attempt where you try to be a little trap and B artist, and you try to do your singing. It usually doesn't do well. Then, thankfully, relentlessly, you get some other features to carry you through to the end of your lackluster album. And I tried to listen to this twice and didn't make it through either time.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah. And yeah, it's just, honestly, you could skip it. Like, you don't really need to listen to this record that much. You're not going to miss anything. There's nothing in here there's no real bangers either. And that was my big thing, because with NLE Choppa albums, every once in a while you'll get a banger here or there. You'll get something where it's like, oh, this is fun to listen to. With this, it's so bland and dry throughout it. Just like, all right, what am I doing? I listened to 1.5 and I was like, this is over. Like, I don't need it more than that. Compared to the other 2 records that we did this today they had a lot of substance. This just doesn't have that substance. And I think that's an issue with trap. And you've brought this up many times towards, second half of last year and beginning of this year, where you're saying we're going to spend as little time on trap as we can, especially if they're bland. If they're bland like this, like, we'll do our best as music reviewers and stuff to get it to the masses. But we've heard this album. Like, we heard this album last week with NBA Youngboy. Same damn thing.
Yeah. For the record, though, why be better in this case? That's basically just how I'm going to.
For the record, why be better? Yes.
That's just how I'm going to review trap albums that I barely cared about anymore. It's just going to be, okay, well, is YB better than this, or is YB not better than this? In this case, YB's better. So
YB better.
I almost wish that were the arbitrary scale, but instead we're going to do something even more obviously co-opted by white people, and that is the Floydies NFTs.
this is the Chinese Floydies, where they said, we at Floydies NFT HQ are disgusted by the racist comments that Jimmy Kimmel made on his program against Asian people. To celebrate the Asian community, we would decide to put this Asian Floydy up for sale. And it's the most racist looking image of an NFT you can ever see, and it is beautiful. And I think this album can deserve that. Do with that what you will.
Wow, the things that I were about to say would have gotten us another strike on YouTube. I stopped myself. Amazing. I wouldn't have been able to edit it out, and it would have gotten us a strike on YouTube. We're done.
Amazing.
That's bad. That image is bad. That's all I'm going to say.
Bad. It's really, really, really bad.